Respected organizers, respected officers of Laghu Udyog Bharati-Karnataka chapter and Belagavi chapter, I am a foundation, respected dignitaries on this dais, respected speakers and my dear friends, faculty members of ETU, invitees, student friends. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to make a presentation on technological interventions in agriculture. You know that agriculture is the backbone of Indian economy. Indian agriculture with the vast net cultivable area of 143 million hectares needs to support nearly 1.3 billion population, including 15% of the global animal population, majorly housed in rural areas, depending mainly on the rain-fed agriculture. The agriculture is largely under the rain-fed conditions in India. About 60 to 70% of the agriculture is being practiced under agricultural situation. So, as I told, 143 million hectares, it is the net cultivable area feeding around 1.3 billion population. And we are also feeding nearly 15% of the total animal population in the globe. Then Indian agriculture was transformed from begging bowl to self-sufficiency through many revolutions, such as green revolution for food grains, white revolution for milk production, yellow revolution for oilseed production, and blue revolution for aquatic fish production. These revolutions, although contributed for food and nutrition security, the burgeoning population demands 350 million tons of food grains by 2030 and 450 million tons of food grains by 2050. This is a very challenging job as part of the agriculture scientists and the farmers. While the yields are almost stagnated, the yields of almost majority of the crops are stagnated. In some crops it is in declining trend. Further, the natural resource base is also declining, and all these together questioning the sustainability of Indian agriculture and in near future. That's why there are many challenges for the Indian farming community. The majority of, the most important problems which are being faced in the modern agriculture system. So, the climate change induced rainfall aberrations. In some areas, I think we have experienced severe drought conditions. Excessive rainfalls, they are causing actually the soil, depleting the soil health and soil nutritive level. Then there is a fluctuation in the temperature, and also, so you could see there will be hot weather in some areas, cold weather in some areas due to the extreme rainfall situations. Soil health is also declining year after year, and it is also eroded. So, due to the intensity of rainfall or no addition of organic matter to the soil. Labor crisis is the another problem. See, about 60 to 70% of the farming community, so they are depending upon the external labor for their activities, but nowadays labor, the availability is reducing because of the migration from villages to the urban areas. Of course, nowadays less than 2% there is a reverse migration also. Then there is a reoccurrence or resurging of pests and diseases with regard to the high yielding varieties including animals. Then there is a poor infrastructure for the sale of quality produce by the farmers. So these are the main challenges which are ultimately affecting the human as well as the animal health, in addition to the affecting the sustainable employment and also sustainable income throughout the year. Then agriculture is practiced both in rain-fed and irrigated conditions, as I told. So in fact, in India, the rain-fed situation is to the extent of 60%, but in Karnataka, it is to the tune of 66%. Therefore, we have many challenges. So the rain-fed ecosystem in India is high-risk, low-yield business due to natural and socio-economic constraints. What are the natural constraints? Maybe the erratic rainfall. See, the Indian agriculture is gambling with the monsoon. So sometimes we receive heavy rains, sometimes no rains or poor rains. That's why Indian agriculture is gambling with the monsoon. So maybe resulting in floods, droughts. and inadequate irrigation infrastructure. We do not have adequate infrastructure to, hold the natural water. So when there is a heavy rainfall, there will be degradation of the fertility of the soil, poor soil fertility level, and these leads to the high risk and low yield in case of agriculture. Then among the socio-economic conditions, small holdings, you know that most of the farmers, about 70% of the farmers, they have fragmented land holdings. So mechanization is a problem, and the operations, the maybe sowing operations or intercultural operations or harvest operations, we are entirely depending upon the labor force. Then the credit availability to the farmers is also minimum, and in fact, if a farmer wants to take credit from any financial institutions, he has to roam about, office to office, pillar to pillar for, the months together, and he needs to give nearly 12 to 15 types of records to obtain loan also. Then which are all leading to the poor socio-economic growth, and coupled with the illiteracy and also the poverty of the farming community. So these are the challenges in rain-fed area. In addition, the groundwater level, if you see the groundwater scenario in the state, it is depleting. About 89% of the assessed areas, they are showing the declining trend. And in almost 156 taluks out of 176 taluks compared, but only 11% of the taluks have shown the increased this one. What is the impact on soil health? In fact, the low rainfall or excessive rainfall, it has a direct impact on soil health. As I told, it depletes the soil fertility level. So nutritive availability to the plants has become scarce. Microorganisms activity has reduced considerably, and as a result, even the organic content, it's supposed to be almost 1%, it has come down to 0.3% in most of the areas. So you can see the left one, this is the, the rich soil and the poor soil due to the, see, I will tell you one example, the organic content in the soil during the independence period around 1940-45, it was 0.75%. Now it has reduced to 0.37%, almost the decline of about 100% organic content in the soil. This is a major challenge in agriculture. So for a sustainable production of agricultural system, so we have to change our, we have to go for a game-changing production technologies. So here we have to transform ourselves from the conventional agriculture to technological agriculture, or we have to revolutionize ourselves by adopting the various ICT tools or IoT or IT tools in the production system, and we can have evergreen revolution. We have only 4 or 5 revolutions. We can have evergreen revolution in the system. The game-changing technologies. This can be achieved by implementing prevailing efficient and futuristic technology. We have efficient technologies, but which are not being implemented properly by the farmers. So we should ensure the efficient implementation of the prevailing technologies, in addition to adoption of new technological tools for the benefit of farmers. So all these technologies should go in IFS manner, or IFS approach in integrated farming system. No, previous slide please. In an integrated farming approach, considering the small holdings for the benefit of the small holders for continuous employment and income throughout the year, we have to approach. So here, we have to integrate the cereals, growing of cereals, pulses, animals, even rearing of rabbits, sericulture, whatnot. Everything we have to incorporate into the system, so that failure of one component does not influence the economy of the farmer. So, and also the output or the raw material or the waste material of one component will become a input for the other material. So we have to integrate all farming activities, including the agricultural, animal science, and other subsidiary enterprises for sustainable employment as well as the sustainable income for poor farmers throughout this one. Then there are many technologies prevailing technologies are available in addition to the conventional technologies, maybe precision farming. So in the precision farming, there is a scope for automation of agriculture equipments, maybe plowing equipment, spraying equipments, or the harvesting machineries, even the water lifting pump set we can automize, and we can also go for hydroponics. I will explain what is hydroponics, and also robotics, employment of robotics in agriculture, and nanotechnology. So nanotechnology like nanofertilizers, pesticides we can use, and also nanoparticles, or even the mechanization is possible. Then organic culture. See, organic culture is the best culture without impacting the environment and human health and animal health. So we can improvise our productivity level, and there are a good number of alternative agriculture systems which we can also incorporate into the system. And based on the the technological tools, we can have weather modeling, forecasting techniques for the prevention of outbreak of pests, or even to overcome the climatic the vagaries. And also the application of remote sensing, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and also machine learning. So these are also possible. And in fact, I was discussing with Mr. Sujit, he was mentioning about even the sensor-based agriculture or digital agriculture. This is also possible. So in fact, the precision farming, next slide please. I would like to apply what is precision farming. In fact, in precision farming, variable rate technologies, for example, if you consider this is, 3,000 square foot area, if you divide this one into subplots, there will be variability with respect to the soil conditions, soil moisture level, soil fertility level, or organic matter content level, or microorganism level. So based on the specific site-specific requirement, we can go for the precision farming, including the use of drones in agriculture for various purposes. Drones may be used for the taking up spray against the pests and diseases. They can be used to analyze the soil moisture conditions, and also in some cases we can also employ drones for determining the maturity level of fruits and other leafy vegetables. In fact, those slides are not visible. Then another important aspect is water productivity enhancement. So we have water. So about 60 to 70% of the India's agriculture is depending upon rainwater. About only 30-40% is depending upon the storage water in the form of canals, in the form of tube wells, in the form of tanks. But what is the water use efficiency? Water use efficiency is only to the tune of 60 to 70%. 30 to 40%. So about 60 to 70% of the water we are wasting when we are, going for the canal irrigation. For all these, we have to adapt micro irrigation systems to enhance automated micro irrigation systems to enhance the water productivity in the country. See, in fact, Karnataka state evolved a Antarganga micro irrigation policy and intending to bring 35 lakh hectares under this project in order to utilize the water most efficiently. So the canal irrigation, tank irrigation, and tube well irrigation, these can be achieved. That is, water use efficiency can be achieved through piped irrigation instead of canal irrigation, where we can incur great losses. The hydroponics is the another area. See, I would like to cite one example here. World will be 70% urbanized by 2050. Only 30% of the people will be staying, or they will be, practicing their occupations in the village atmosphere. So there is a huge demand for fruits, vegetables, food grains for the urban population. That's why hydroponics, this is an emerging field we are recommending for urban horticulture. On terraces we can have hydroponics for the cultivation of leafy vegetables and other small vegetables. So this helps in producing quality vegetables with low water requirement, or even minimum water requirement. Even other innovative technologies are aquaponics. What do you mean by aquaponics? What is the difference between hydroponics and aquaponics? Here, hydroponics are integrated with the aquaponics, or aquatic fish culture. so that there will be recycling of water. There will be recycling of water, that is the fecal matter of the fish can become a nutrient for the leafy vegetables, so that we can recycle and we can cultivate. And also skyscraper farming. This is nothing but a multi-layer cropping pattern. You can say there will be 5 to 6 layers of vertical farming, so that we can grow different types of leafy vegetables and also different types of so small vegetables for home gardening, home purpose. And also apiculture, wherever there is a good flora near our houses, we can also adopt apiculture and also sericulture. These are some of the innovative technologies which are available as alternative farming techniques. Then recently, in fact, this is another resource efficient circular growing system. This is nothing but hydroponics. This is a form of hydroponics where the entire frame is rotated hydraulically, so that maximum solar energy can be harvested and we can minimize the requirement of inputs for maximizing yield or production. Smart sensors and robotics. Smart sensors for detection of weeds. We can detect the presence of weeds in the main field. Pests and diseases can be detected at the early stage. Nutrition deficiency can be detected. And even the fruit maturity or the leafy vegetable maturity can be detected based on the sensors. This helps to attain maximum production of quality produce and target even for export of the quality produce. As I told, climate change is the biggest challenge as of now. Crop weathering models based on the ICT tools, then automation of real-time weather forecasting models, and dissemination of all these to the farmers for the benefit. And also we can provide, during the crisis, we can provide a contingency crop plans for different crops and varieties based on the local choice available. So based on the weather forecasting models. Even with intervention of small cultural operations, we can minimize the loss due to the climate change. Nanotechnology is another important area. So where nanoparticles, nutrient chemicals are available. For example, nano-urea is available, nano-zinc is available. But we have to extend this one to other elements also. This is the one. Then soil and water conservation. So in fact, for soil, hydrogel is being used as a nanoparticle to conserve the moisture from the soil, and also farm pond lining, etc. are available for soil and water conservation purpose. Then nanotechnology based tines for farm mechanization. Small tines are available, so which are, they are playing a pivotal role in farm mechanization for the benefit of the farmers. Then this one, weed management, even nanoparticle, nano weedicides are also available, and also we can manage the greenhouse gases, emission of greenhouse gases using the nanoparticles, so we can reduce the impact on the climate change. Then alternative farming, so as I told, I have already emphasized what is the importance of organic farming. Then conservation agriculture. See, this is a form of agriculture wherein the crops are covered, crops are rotated for the purpose of increasing the efficiency of the land and also the inputs. Then biodynamic farming. This is another type of, the alternative farming wherein the residue, crop residue is in situ incorporated, so that dependency on external inputs is avoided, so that we can increase the, we can reduce the cost of cultivation and we can maximize the productivity. Even natural farming, this is another farming, you can call it as a Fukuda farming system, wherein no external inputs are employed. So no external inputs, no external labor, only the family labor with available minimum input, the farm generated, so labor are available. And remote sensing. In fact, remote sensing, GIS, IoT, AI have greater role in conserving natural resources. For example, water, soil, micronutrients in the, and also they are helpful in precision management of crops. These technologies can be applied as a decision tool decision-making tools in precision farming. So there is a lot of scope. I think all startups, incubators or startups, they can think over on all these directions for overall, integration of the technology with the conventional agriculture for the betterment of economy. Then finally, the farm mechanization. So farm mechanization, I need not emphasize on farm mechanization. As I told, most of the small and marginal farmers, and mechanization is very difficult. So there is a need for, designing a small, the implements, which can be used by the small holders. So right from preparation of land for, cultivation of crops to marketing of their produce, and also the equipments meant for multi-cropping system are multifunctional. The equipments for multifunction and multi-functional. Then post-production management. In fact, I would like to emphasize here, India, in fact, we are losing nearly 30% of the harvest due to the post-harvest losses, maybe due to the storage losses, you can say. So in case of cereals, it is around 4 to 6%. In case of pulses, it is around again 7 to 8%. Then fruits and vegetables, so 6 to 8 in case of fruits and 7 to 13% in case of vegetables. This is happening because of the inadequate storage facilities as well as the post-harvesting mechanism. We do not have much post-harvesting mechanism, so that we can think over on these directions for betterment. Then finally, so, the other futuristic technologies can also be employed. Solar farming. Here, solar farming can be used, in two dimensions. One is we can harvest the solar energy for the purpose of, as energy source for lifting the water or etc. Then, ammonia can be, the synthesized using the solar solar energy, and this can be utilized as a raw material in manufacturing the nitrogenous fertilizers. So solar farming, there is a possibility we can harvest ammonia, and that ammonia can be converted to the nutrients for agriculture purpose. Then prescription farming. Prescription, this is just like how our doctor gives a prescription for a specific ailment. For example, diabetic patient, how he gives a tablet, just like that. So in America, so there are some service providers who can provide the prescription based on the local or the specific, soil status or soil conditions or climatic conditions of the specific area. So this is called prescription farming. This is also required for our Indian situations. Then digital farming, in fact, I was discussing with Sujit. We can monitor the activity of agricultural system. We can monitor the movement of animals. So based on the temperature, we can also determine the feeding efficiency of the cows, buffaloes. We can know the temperature we can read the temperature, we can measure the temperature, and we can divert if there is a high temperature than the normal, we can divert them automatically to the treatment sheds where we can give specific, the treatment. So this is also possible. Then there is a technology called hyperspectral imaging with the smartphones. See, based on, the apps, based on the technology, we can determine the maturity level, whether there is an insect inside the fruits or vegetables, whether this is properly harvested or not, or whether, we can determine the age of the, the fruit also after the harvesting. Next slide, please.
Sir, I'll just like to take a minute of yours. What we were discussing just now about animal science and other activities, each and every field, whatever sir has comprehensively covered right now, I am just talking regarding one particular field about animal science. Regarding animal science, there is a lot of need in terms of technology intervention. Maybe it's in the form of healthcare related activities. Yeah. It may be in the form of milk and processing activities. It may be at a larger level wherein a cooperative, how it could be made much smarter in terms of taking up. I'd like to thank Mr. Narayan sir.
This is the application of hyperspectral imaging with the smartphone. You can see based on the technology, we can identify how many days old fruits and vegetables. Likewise, 2 days old, you can see the red color. 4 days old, blue color, 6 days old, red color. Likewise, we can identify. So this is the technology available based on this, the consumers. So the preference can be enhanced. Consumer preference can be enhanced. This I have already informed precision farming. In fact, Monsanto, this is a multinational company. This is leading this type of system in United States of America for providing, the site-specific, this one. Digital farming, we can monitor all the activities of the farm automatically, including the movement of the dairy animals. Like that, all farm activities can be digitalized, even including the irrigation schedule depending upon the soil moisture conditions. There are control rooms, just like how we monitor the satellite movement, the satellites. So here also there is a possibility for monitoring the we can increase the production of healthy food with less water, fertilizers, energy and carbon dioxide neutral through the digital this one. So with this I would like to summarize. Indian agriculture needs transformation from traditional system or conventional to technological the agriculture, and we have many challenges. The prominent ones are the climate change, which is impacting the soil, water, and also it directly influencing the socio-economic status of the farmers. And we have many options. Prevailing options are there, futuristic options are also available. So IFS approach, integrated farming system approach with the modern technology can be amalgamated, and for the benefit of farmers, for sustainable production, sustainable livelihood enhancements, and also holistic development of the Indian agriculture. With this, I would like to extend my profuse thanks to all the organizers and also my the fellow distinguished speakers.
Thank you very much.
Given my opportunity to share our ideas. And also here I would like to express my profuse thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor. In fact, we have initiated many ICT initiatives in the university. We are adopting all these techniques, most of these techniques in the university, and also we have demonstrated most of these technologies in the GKVK campus for the benefit of visitors and also farmers. Thank you very much.
We thank you very much, sir, for the comprehensive overview about what today's agriculture is, what is going on, and what possibilities and challenges are. So it was a quite long, thorough overview regarding how it has come up and what are the things to be taken up. Now, taking this discussion further, I would like to also ask you, any of you could answer, and how does basically the present scenario of the technological setup and the agriculture setup, if any of you put us a light that how this gap could be covered in, wherein the introduction of technology from the micro level could be initiated.
Sir has posed the challenges. Being an engineer, I would like to suggest some solutions. I worked for John Deere Technology, which is one of the leading mechanization and precision agriculture provider in the world. So I have seen what precision agriculture can do in what I call extensive farming, where you have large acres of land, 1,000, 10,000, lakh acres of land. The precision agriculture cannot be for only for pesticide spraying, crop care. It cannot be just for post-harvesting. Precision agriculture has to go across the value chain. When I say across the value chain, it should start with planting. The location of the seed has to be, the GPS location of the seed has to be first marked. Then the spraying of the fertilizer or the fertigation has to be based on the prescription. What the seed needs, at what time. So precision agriculture, to put it very simply, the right amount of nutrient or pesticide at the right time. That's what I mean, precision agriculture. So, sir was mentioning about harvesting. Harvesting also plays a very important role in precision agriculture, because the harvesters in these developed countries, or the Western countries, not, I should avoid the developed countries, Western countries harvest such that they mark, okay, this square inch of the land is giving me 2x yield, while the other part of the land is giving 0.5x yield. Based on that, they develop the prescription. In fact, Monsanto was our partner when I was in the US, and they provide the fertilizers or the pesticides or the nutrients. We actually developed the technology to put that in the land. So once the harvester understands which part of the land is fertile, has the right moisture content, because as the grain is harvested, most of the agriculture there is corn or wheat or rice. So then the prescription is given to the planter, precision planter, that it should have a variable planting system. That means in this square feet, I need 10 seeds per square feet. In the next plot, I need only 5 seeds per. So the variable planting happens. So it is a quite complex, and I have seen those control rooms. I have worked in those control rooms. So that technology, I believe, is quite difficult to adopt. There are several challenges. One is the land holding. As you all know, the average land holding is only
1.5 acres. Yeah.
How can we adopt? And the initial cost, just affording a precision planter is quite expensive.
Correct.
Affording a harvester is also very expensive.
Very expensive.
So, intensive agriculture. For India, intensive agriculture is preferred. When I say intensive agriculture, sir has also mentioned that it has multiple crops, cattle, along with the integrated
with the livestock,
farming system.
yes, integrated farming system.
So what we used to call is intensive agriculture. So the farmer's family and his neighbors also participate in the agriculture process. So that would be a preferred system, plus the precision agriculture as a service, not as a infrastructure investment for him. The farmer can hire a drone service provider who will come and spray. He will hire a harvester who will come and harvest. But adopting that as a service would be much more affordable for a farmer than investing in all these equipment.
That could be a clue for the budding entrepreneurs here, who can take up service as an activity to get into entrepreneurship and get into things like, example, what sir said about drone. So eventually what you are coming from a perspective of what international is going on, and you have also given a nice preview about how it could be done in India. Does this have any aspects with relate to the present traditional way of farming in India? Can the present way, or the traditional, or you can say conventional way of farming, will that also be a part and picture of the overall new approach using digitization, or you can say technology intervention? So how this could be enhanced? Could you guys elaborate on it?
I am Dr. V. Kudchikar from Post-Harvest Technology Department of CFTRI. We are working on actually after harvest. Normally the focus is on the value addition to the produce after harvest. But for the farming community concerned, there are a lot of points to be considered to minimize the post-harvest losses. Sir is enlightened on what are the extent of post-harvest losses happening for the fruits and vegetables in agriculture. In totality, he has covered many commodity-wise. But if you look into the farming activity, there are so many things lacking from our side in the Indian system. Precision is a little far ahead of thinking. But if you look into present system, what we are having, there are a lot of lacunas, loopholes are there. One thing I would like to say, any crop produce we produce, that has to be taken pre-harvest management.
Correct.
Very effectively. Are we taking that?
So you are coming to a point wherein your raw material, a holistic approach to agriculture. If I have put it right, how could a holistic approach have the component of smart agriculture, or you can say technology could be introduced as a smarter way, could be taking up?
Here what happens, the farmers could be entrepreneurship. He can be entered into a budding entrepreneur as well as the largest entrepreneur to become at later stages. Here selection of raw material concerned. First, whenever we would like to have the farming activity, here is the selection of raw material is very important with respect to the selection of varieties. There are varieties which are meant for storage. If you are going for business mode, in large scale marketing, storage, transportation, there are quite number of varieties in each crop.
Correct.
So this is very fundamental and basic aspect. Where selection of raw material is very important. Whether we are selecting variety for storage purpose, marketing,
yes,
or I am taking it for the value addition in terms of converting them into validated products, finished products. These are the very fundamental aspects.
So to cover this fundamental aspect, I would like to put it into one particular system, right wise, how Mr. Ravi put it, right from the point we sow that particular seed to the harvest, pre-harvest and harvesting and processing. That needs to have a holistic approach from the farmer side. It makes the farmer more entrepreneur, if I am not wrong in that sense. We are a part of and parcel of this particular economy, and we need to see that how this whole system could be systematically organized and made much better.
I would like to add here one thing in support of Dr. Sir's statement. See, for precision farming, we need a huge investment. Small farmers, they cannot afford huge investments. In these situations, we can go for cooperative farming. We can have FPOs. We can have precision agriculture using, in fact, if you visit Raichur and Gangavati areas where paddy is being cultivated in vast areas, farmers, they are employing drones for the application of pesticides. So there are service providers. They provide the service for particular, the purpose. Here also, we can have the FEOs there where we can go for the cropping pattern, uniform cropping pattern in the given locality, so that we can employ the technology very effectively with reduced cost.
Yes, you want to put up something? Yes.
Yeah, I think there was a good introduction given by Dr. Narayan Swamy. One of the things I was looking at is as a student of management and as a director for a management institute today, what we teach our business management students is the entire life cycle of business. Now, in my opinion, a life cycle of business should be inputs, throughputs, outputs, and then there's a feedback of revenue which goes back into the inputs. Unfortunately, today's farmer, because of the small holdings, less than 1.5 hectares, he finds it very difficult to go beyond the output stage. By the time he harvests his crop, his pockets are empty. He is desperately trying to sell his crop, and there are people who are willing to cash on his desperateness and get the lowest price in the market. So what I really feel is, if I can do value addition to every single crop he produces, he would be definitely able to do 2x what the Prime Minister of India wants to do. And for that, I think there are very simple things we need. I don't think we are, if I want to grade a farmer, with due respects, I think I'm a farmer myself. I've been doing farming. I think I'm in the 5th or 6th standard. And for me, AI, machine learning, nanotechnology, precision farming, to me they look like postgraduate
Postgraduate something.
honestly. What I want to know is, I have grown tomatoes today, I am selling it at 10 rupees, can I sell it at 20 rupees and above? And for that, I think very, very low technology is available. A simple sun-dried tomato today is available in the market for 450 rupees. A simple example, 5 kilos of tomatoes, raw tomatoes, I can dry it and get about 1 kilo of dried tomatoes. My shelf life increases from 7 days to 1 year. Therefore, as a farmer, I am not desperate to sell it to the nearest dalal who is going to buy my product. I don't want the APMC to dictate terms to me. And
Correct.
today's situation, I am forced to do that. Let me give you our own example. I produced 96 kilos of kadhi patta last year, and I sold it at a kilo because APMC did not want to buy it more than that. And then I went into the internet, which a farmer can today go into, and he realizes that same kadhi patta, when it is dry, it doesn't lose much of its nutrients, but the market buys it for 990 rupees a kilo to 1450 rupees a kilo. And this is possible today for a farmer with only 1.5 acres of land, because all he needs is 1 gunta of land to dry his kadhi patta. I did the same thing with moringa. When I dried moringa leaves, I'm able to sell it at 1500 rupees a kg on Amazon, and I am able to sell it at a local purchaser for 80 rupees a kilo, which is still not a bad bargain for me, because kadhi patta or moringa, the shelf life is hardly 2 hours to maybe 2 days. And I'm desperate. And if I have to change from that desperateness to a situation of being under control, all I need is low technology. And this is where I think a farmer like me, who is in the 5th standard, can be very happy using low technology. It doesn't require big money. A tomato dryer, for example, is available at 20,000 rupees. My professor here can do it at 5,000 rupees, I promise you that. Because it is possible to do it, and a farmer can benefit. And if I can do the same thing on a slightly bigger scale, which is happening with Deshpande Foundation, for example, they want to put in about 1 crore of rupees, for example, and do some contract farming. And today, when mangoes are available at 50 rupees a kg in season, a dried mango in Karwar is available for 1200 rupees a kg. Papaya, which is available at 11 rupees a kg in APMC today, sells at 750 rupees a kg if you dry it and if you can properly store it for 1 year. So, in my humble opinion, I think a farmer can easily become a 2x farmer. I also understand that every farmer shouldn't dry papaya and tomatoes because you would never get it in the market then. But that's a far cry because that's not going to happen immediately.
So at least he can
that is one of the
divide his
approach.
risk. He can divide his risk. Some
So
part of it he can.
What I think is, as people on the dais, if you can even just trigger this imagination that a farmer can do much more than what he is doing today, I think we have done our job. And then if people who are interested can walk up to these universities, they are the centers of knowledge, whether it is CFTRI or whether it's ICAR or whether it's agriculture universities, we can teach them the entire life cycle and in the process make them learn that 5 rupees can become 50 rupees, 5 rupees can become 450 rupees if he's able to sell it on Amazon. And that is not a big rocket science.
Yeah, that is one of the approaches what sir told. We can change the shift into the value addition. If you are not selling the your produce in local market for the fresh marketing.
And also
one of
when
the
we,
approaches.
and also when we talk, when sir is giving the feedback regarding simple innovations,
Yeah.
simple tools and innovations which we can always be easier for the marginal, smallest of the farmer. Yeah, that can really trigger off a much better approach towards agriculture.
I would like to intervene one more point here. the fresh marketing and the whether fruits, fresh vegetables or fruits concerned, whether many of us we are aware or not, I don't know, our farmers regarding the only they are looking into local market. When you think of local market and all farmers are bringing same produce in the local market, you will not get the surprise what you are expected. So in that case, they cannot take out the produce to the farm and they don't have storage facilities, either they can transport. This is a one normal situation we see everywhere in the farming communities. Farmers being the now educated and digital world is running after you. If you look into the NHB, National Horticultural Board website, at all in its national level, state levels, capitals, the prevailing prices are all, every day it is going to be fed. What is the prevailing prices in Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore? All this is all fed to the National Horticultural Board website. Just you open the website and get into your commodity you are interested, and you will get the prevailing prices in across the India. That is one part. And CSR also, it has developed, one of our mother organization, CSR, it has developed one app called Kisan Sabha app, where there is a very good platform just to glance in.
True, sir. These platforms are definitely very helpful. We don't say no. But marketing. How these platforms, just sorry to interrupt you in between, how could these platforms, which are digital or maybe a technology, could reach the smallest of the farmers? See, we have an education system wherein we do not know about how to manage our finance, how to approach any problems. We are taught some specific activities. This technology, for example, nobody taught us how to use WhatsApp. Why can't we develop some technologies or these kind of technologies? This is an feedback wherein it should be easy to use and free to use. We would like to put up things wherein example of about my technology itself. Example of what we have done actually, to tell you, we have made digitization of animal records in a very simple way on a format of how WhatsApp works. But our problems comes in because it is not free. So how could a government, or how could, we would like to brainstorm about how technology adaptation is not a problem if it is simple. This is what I have realized. Okay, if the technology is simple and free, acceptability of technology is quite high, especially in our context of Karnataka state. So that's where we would like your points to come in regarding this.
So I would like to just add here. I think what you said is absolutely right. There are experts in various areas within the state. Imagine a situation where a MOU signed between a management institute, a research institute like agriculture, an institute which can take care of the marketing of the product. And let's assume for every district, I identify 10 acres of land, which I can get it from the government free of cost, and build an actual ecosystem, for example, integrated farming system, right? Like we have Navodaya schools, for example. The purpose of Navodaya schools was to create a schooling system where others can come and learn.
Correct.
Imagine in one district, I have, say, 10 farms.
That's absolutely a very good ideal idea.
It's a doable thing,
correct,
in my opinion, because it is low cost.
Yeah.
Expertise is available.
Yes.
We build 10 acres of farm at a very low cost, because the farmer should be able to afford it.
Correct.
And use all this within the 10-acre farm. And prove that each acre can today earn at least ₹1,00,000 for a farmer.
Correct.
Compared to what he is earning today, believe me, there will be at least 100 farmers who would like to walk in. Because today I have this in Bangalore, maybe a farmer from Gadag, for example, or Hubli may even find it difficult to go there and learn. Give it something very near him. And this is being done now. For example, we are trying to identify 5 acres from KLE Tech. We will use the, we are already tied up with Agricultural Sciences University in Dharwad. We have an MOU with them. So what we plan to do is create a small ecosystem, whether there's integrated farming where I use ducks and poultry and cattle, I use one manure as a food for the other.
So something you are talking about, something like a permaculture activity which taken up in Australia on a bigger scale.
I have a pond, I grow fishes there, and I grow a poultry about it. The droppings of the poultry is a food for the farm. The goat manure becomes a food for the farm. At least 20% of the fish's food is taken care of.
Taken care of.
Right? Now that, the excreta of the fish is an excellent nutrition for hydroponics, which Sir talked about.
Correct.
And that hydroponics is an excellent food for the cattle which you grow.
So in all, you have covered the holistic approach.
It's
That
a
it's a
you
holistic
do it
approach.
with- and this can be done with 2 acres farm.
And how the technology could come into picture?
Right. In every of this, technology can be used. There could be solar drying for certain things.
Yeah.
There could be, use the best quality of genetics for having the best poultry there. You can use the best fish which are available or have a good cost in the market.
Correct.
And you have fruits, vegetables grown there which will grow excellently well.
Yes.
Have a vermicompost there because the cattle give out vermicompost.
Absolutely.
Today, 6 rupees vermicompost becomes 30 rupees on Amazon.
Correct.
Teach the farmers to do that.
Yes.
Believe
So-
me, you don't have to go to fertilizer
So to
companies.
teach these farmers or the people down the line, we need to have a system. So Narayan sir, I would like to put this question to you. Like, how do we integrate these culture, or you can say the agriculture in
agribusiness.
business?
In
Using
fact,
technology, yeah?
yeah.
We are talking about technological intervention. Using technology, how it could be made faster, better, easier, and up and above, affordable, rather than affordable, I would say make it free.
No, agriculture is a very complex culture. Yeah, it is a very complex culture. See, various factors are involved here. See, both abiotic, biotic, so factors are being involved here. So in fact, it is very difficult to, have a business model for every farmer. Otherwise, we cannot sustain. We cannot sustain. We have to have, food grain for our purpose also. Our purpose also, we have to eat ourselves. We have to eat. We have to feed our families. So only the surplus can be monitored, surplus can be processed, value added, and pushed through business models. In fact, I would like to give one example here. In fact, in Kolar and Chikbalapur districts, where the tomato is, as Sir said, tomato is grown extensively in large areas. It is just like a gambling. Sometimes it goes up to 100 rupees per kg, sometimes 1 rupee, 2 rupees per kg, they simply throw. We do not have mechanism to control the cropping system in the state. So we need to introduce the cropping system. Cropping intensity we have to impose which crop should be grown in which area during which season.
How does this government or the
Yeah,
GKVKs are coming into picture then?
Yeah, in fact, we are advising, we have network. In fact, we have research network, we have extension network. In the system, every taluk is connected, every district is connected through KVKs and also extension education units in the universities jurisdiction. We have 5 agriculture universities in the states. So we have direct touch with the farmers. We are advising them. In fact, we are providing advisories. Weather advisories we are providing, crop advisories we are providing. So based on the technologies.
So how much of this is reaching the last mile?
In fact, adoption level, where is, please.
हाँ बोलिए.
सर आपने जो अभी पॉइंट उठाया ये सही है. अभी पोल्ट्री का काम चल रहा है. वो पोल्ट्री का बर्ड्स ला के देता है, मेडिसिन देता है, सब देता है. उसके बाद में वो फार्मर को कुछ टेंशन नहीं है. इसका 2 महीना पालने का और पैसा लेने का और दे देने का. वैसे ही हमारा जो सब एग्रीकल्चर ऑफिस है वो उनको सबको बोलना है कि कौन सा पीक लगाने का है हम खेत में और कितना उसका 1 एकड़ में कितना यील्ड आएगा. पहले निप्पानी में तंबाकू का रेशनिंग होता था सर, तो कितना तंबाकू लगाने का और कितना प्रोडक्शन होगा ये सरकार को मालूम होता था. वो एक्स्ट्रा प्रोडक्शन भी नहीं हो जाएगा और कम प्रोडक्शन भी नहीं हो जाएगा. हम अभी बेबीज लगाएगा अगर हमारे फार्म हाउस पे, हमें सर कुछ भी टेक्नोलॉजी तो अपने आप हम खरीद सकते हैं सर, हमारे पैसे से खरीद सकते हैं, हमें सरकार की भी जरूरत नहीं सर. हम अगर 20 रुपए का एक कोबीज अगर हमने लगाया, 1 एकड़ में 40,000 कोबीज लगा सकते हैं सर. 1 किलो को 20 रुपए भी मिल गया तो एक इनोवा गाड़ी हम 1 बरस में ले लेंगे सर. हमें किसकी भी जरूरत नहीं है, हमें चाहिए आपकी टेक्नोलॉजी है ना. अब मैं कल परसों मैसूर को गया था सर, कौन से भी पॉइंट को खड़ा रहा ऊबर का टैक्सी आता था सर. तो जो मेगा सिटी में रहता है उनको जो भाजीपाला चाहिए 1 दिन में हम पहुंचा सकते हैं सर बॉम्बे को, 1 दिन में हम बंगलुरु को पहुंचा सकते हैं सर. हमें क्या चाहिए, हमें मार्केट चाहिए सर। वो टेक्नोलॉजी का अगर मार्केट से जोड़ देंगे आप, अभी कोरोना के पास ये हो गया सर कि घर घर में चाहिए, हमें अपना दवा भी घर में चाहिए, बाहर जाने का मूड नहीं है, तो पैसा है उसको मूड नहीं है ना, अच्छी बात है। हमारा सामान वो ले जाए, कितना क्या बोलते हैं आप सर, नौकरी भी कितना बढ़ेगा, सब बढ़ेगा सर। आप एग्रीकल्चर ऑफिस को अभी हमारा सरकार ने क्या किया है सर, स्प्रिंकलर का पाइप बेचने के लिए रखा है सर। क्या फायदा है सर, क्या फायदा है? टेक्नोलॉजी को जोड़ दीजिए सर, उनको बताइए, हमारे फार्मर्स को आइए।
तो यू आर कमिंग टू अ पॉइंट अगेन।
हमारा इंद्राणी भात है सर, अभी इंद्राणी लगाते सर, बॉम्बे को 80 रुपए से ऊपर है केजी को, 80-100 रुपए के केजी है। हमारे यहाँ पे परसों के दिन 1400 रुपए से क्विंटल लेके गए सर। हम कैसा जिंदा रहेंगे सर?
So he is coming to a point wherein we have to make technology free.
कंप्यूटर से जोड़ दीजिए, कौन से भाग को ये
Technology free.
बस है सर।
वही मैं बता रहा था, फ्रेश मार्केटिंग जो कर रहे हैं उनके लिए बैठे बैठे आप मॉनिटर कर सकते हैं, प्राइस लेवल कहाँ पे कितना ले सकते हैं, वहाँ पे आप अपना लोड जो भी प्रोड्यूस है आप शिफ्ट कर सकते हैं, ट्रांसपोर्ट कर सकते हैं, डिसीजन आप ही में ले सकते हैं।
So to conclude this discussion,
सेकंड थिंग इज यू वांट टू प्रोड्यूस, लेकिन ट्रांसपोर्ट टू लॉन्गर डिस्टेंस, उसके लिए लाइफ भी चाहिए ना, ग्रीन लाइफ चाहिए। ग्रीन लाइफ के लिए आपको कब हार्वेस्ट करना चाहिए? यू कैन नॉट हार्वेस्ट प्रोड्यूस एट फुल मैच्योरिटी।
So to conclude this, sorry to interrupt in between. To conclude this, what he is coming to a point is make technology free for the farmers. Wherever possible, maybe it's services on other terms, okay? Maybe it's in terms of approach to a problem or his access to markets. If you make this free and available to the last mile, this would suffice most of the challenges wherein technology could play a major part. Maybe it's digitization, maybe it is machinization, or maybe it is precision farming or anything. The major cause of farmer today is where is he going to sell his products?
So we did a very big survey of farmers. So the hierarchy of needs for farmers is market linkage, what this gentleman told. Second is quality of inputs, be it water, seeds, fertilizer, pesticide. Third is operations, like mechanization, labor, machine availability, precision for all these.
Correct.
So I think we should attack the biggest need right now.
Access to market
linkage.
Market linkage.
And
Correct.
market linkage can be value addition, as sir told, and
First
professor
month.
told.
Yeah.
And also giving him the right price for them.
Correct. Correct. Yes.
See, I would like to add in this regard. In fact, see, during the COVID period, UAS Bangalore, so we have provided market linkage to the farmers during the crisis. In fact, we have created both backward and forward linkages to the farmers. Backward linkages, that is input requirement, the fertilizers or the manures or the seeds or any other inputs. Forward linkage, the sale of their produce. In fact, we have platform for that. In fact, in the university, we have created a Agri War Room also for,
That's what his issue is. These
Yes.
all developments should not be limited to the university.
No. We are extending. In fact, COVID has taught us lessons. We are in fact extending all these to our jurisdictional areas.
And just to take this further, market linkage is the main key point. That's what is coming up in this discussion. Digitization, or you can say technology interventions, play a major role in terms of making market accessible and linkaging and also things. So we urge most of the farmers, the entrepreneurs who are coming in here, to take this opportunity the challenges as an opportunity to come up with products, services, or even wayabouts to address the market uniquely. India is unique. We can't replicate what West has been doing till now or what we have been doing. We are all unique and we have a much better environment here for farming. If you see, we have got n number of cereals and crops and grains which are much bigger and which are much more nutritious than going in for other pharmacies. So on this platform, before I conclude here, I would urge most of the people here to look at technology intervention at each and every step of the agricultural process. It is not that you only look at the market linkage, the end part of it, and only the middle part wherein you are doing some fertilization for your land. So agriculture in itself, I conclude saying that it's a holistic process wherein technology interventions would play a major role to work smart, earn better, and sustain your life in there. And from this platform, we also urge the government employer people who are there in the institutes, let the research and activities not be limited only to the universities or to the KVKs and other stuff. Involvement of the farmer should be taken care of at each and every level of any research which has come in. So, and I thank you all the dignitaries for coming here and giving your valuable feedbacks.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.